Hey, welcome to another episode of the Rob Report. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. Before we get into the segment, by the end of this video, I want you to do a few things for me. First of all, if you like the video, hit the like button. Please do. If you don't like it, hit unlike. It's okay. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Sometimes, as Jimmy Dole would say, you find yourself unsubscribed and you need to make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell right next to it so you can be notified when a new video is being dropped. Whoop, there it is. And more importantly, the super chat will be on for this segment, so if you want to donate toward the efforts of Bob TV, that's freely up to you. I do have a job, but any amount will help toward the growth of this channel. And more important, let us help you help us by introducing you to a program. There's a link down below that says Equal Justice for All. You're going to click that video link and there's some educational tutorial about a phenomenal program in America that is really making equal justice a reality for every citizen. So this program is phenomenal. The proceeds from you participating in the program will go back, 10% will go back into the Bob TV YouTube channel. So anyway, my name is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Let's get into it.
Hey, you guys was hopeful. Your host was high. You just knew that he was going to get him. Yeah, some of you just knew it. You had everything. You had your ducks all in a row. Yeah. You just knew Mueller was going to get something on Trump. Trump was going to be indicted. You knew that. You knew that. Some of you went as far as saying this.
Tick, 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 tick. 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 Tick.
Nah, dog. Your tick, tick, tick done ticked out. Right now, at this moment, whatever your hopes you had of Trump being arrested and going to jail is not going to happen. You can't arrest a sitting president. Can you impeach him? Yes. But you got to have the right charge to impeach him on, and you got to have the right team, and you got to have the right numbers to impeach him on. It just doesn't happen the way you think it's going to happen. So, Cenk, whatever your name, stop it, dude. Stop it. Same thing with Rachel Maddow. Stop. You lost this one. You lost this one. Miller time is officially over. Man, well, y'all was so excited. Y'all went out and bought merch. You went and bought the Mueller pen, P-I-N. You bought the Mueller pen to write with, P-E-N. Some of you will walk around with the Mueller time hat on. Yeah, you bought stuff for your babies. You bought the mug so you can drink your coffee. Some of y'all are so excited about Robert Mueller that you bought phone cases and even bought T-shirts. Yeah, some of you did. Yeah. Oh, you guys was ready. And what you did was you emboldened and empowered Trump because you literally went on a witch hunt on the subject of Russia. Hillary Clinton had you sold up. Robbie Mueller, and all them fools, them nutcases on the Hillary Clinton cult, the Hillary Clinton team, made up that mess at the Shake Shack in Brooklyn, over there off on Fulton Street. I know where's that. I'm in that area all the time. I eat at the Shake Shack. Made that stuff up because they were so shocked that we helped this man run for office, set up the Pied Piper strategy, and he took the Pied Pipe and stuck it up our behind. Yeah, he did. He took that pipe. That's right, he did. You just could not admit that she sucked so bad that she allowed a orange game show host that took somebody else's catchphrase, "You're fired," and became a TV success, and now he's the president of the United States. Stole that from Vince McMahon. You just embarrassed. She just can't admit to the fact that she's a horrible campaigner. She sucks. She sucked as Secretary of State. She didn't do that much sucking as a wife, I guess. That's why I guess Bill went to Monica Lewinsky. Let me stop. She did some good things as First Lady, but she wasn't all that stellar of a First Lady. Michelle Obama did some great things as First Lady too. Probably more than Hillary Clinton did. At least the kids all over the world love Michelle Obama. She's been out there dancing on, doing the stinky leg and everything. She earned her respect. Hillary Clinton ain't do that much that the world love her. The only reason she got that seat in New York is because there was no real contenders for that seat. The person who really had that seat, pretty much was going to be his seat, was John F. Kennedy Jr., who died in a plane crash. Just happened to die in the plane crash, leaving it wide open for Hillary Clinton to run for that position. And that particular area, it's going to be easy for her to win. All you need is a name. Clinton name was going to win anyway, because people have this figment of imagination about Hillary Clinton. Now, for over 2 years, you played this card. For over 2 years, you called people like me Russian bots, Red Scares, Putin puppets, Putin buddy. For 2 years, you pulled this McCarthy mess. And it was all for nothing. You're the fools. You're the conspiracy theorists. You're the red baiters. You're the McCarthyites. The smearers. Also, you can keep pumping this thing along. You are. What you did was you endangered this country with this BS. What you did was help the Democrat, and for you who played into this role, man, Hillary Clinton and those nutwings had you all into the web. Her plan was to get your mind off the rigging of the United States primaries, the Democratic primaries, and turn the table and make it seem like the general election was rigged. I forgot what they call that. It's a philosophy where you said the other things that you know you're struggling with and you did wrong, you put that on somebody else so nobody can see you. I don't know that what it's called. Now I'm taking my time on this because this is a waste of 2 years on Russia BS, and we knew it was BS. At the same time, people in Flint, Michigan still got dirty water. They don't even want to change the pipes. Barack Obama went over there and acted like the water was clean, and he didn't even hardly drink the water. Turned his back on those people pretty much. People in the black community still struggling. Never got no help from Barack Obama. You think you were going to get some help from Hillary Clinton? You sure ain't going to get no help from Trump. That's why whether you like it or not, whether you're for reparation or not, you got to be careful on your strategy, because the bottom line is the Republicans will do far more worse in taking us back when it comes to our gains than the Democrats. Don't get me wrong, the Democrats will take us back on our gain too, but the Republicans will be far more worse. So be careful and smarter about your strategy when it comes to this next election. Not telling you not to do anything. Do that. But make sure you're smart about doing that. All this time wasted for nothing. You had people who had to leave this country that they loved, that worked for the Russian government, but they end up liking living in the United States. They had to pack their bag up and go back home because of sanctions that we were going to put, or the potential to prosecute them for stuff they had nothing to do. We put sanction on the Russian people who had nothing to do with the Russian government, and even the Russian government had nothing to do with trying to hack our election. Don't get me wrong. Governments try to have some kind of foothold in everybody's election. We the kings at it. We made up this stuff. We're the kings of interfering in the election, and we don't just do it in the ballot box. We'll go over there, topple the government, kill the dictator, and put in a puppet leader. Which one is far worse? 2 years. of dealing with y'all bull crap, because we told you you're on a rabbit trail. This is nothing. This is a waste of time. Focus on other things. You want to get Trump? I told you, get him on the monument clause. They're making money. He making money. He's going to his hotel. He used to go to his hotel and he raising the rate every time he go over there. That don't go in his kid's pocket. That's his money. And let alone not the business dealer. And here comes Cenk Uygur. Gonna try to act like he did not say that Trump was a Russian puppet and they help him win the election. You said they helped them win the election. Now I'm not gonna go into the videos because you know you got those videos out there. But the bottom line, Cenk, is you have
Tick 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 tick
out. Now, see, you went on after this debacle was over with, and then he went up trying to save face. Now he got the egg in the face, he got the gas face, he got the Rikishi butt face. You know, Rikishi, he put his butt in your face. Double back.
Boy, did the Democrats blow this one.
All right, so first, now I went over this video during the live show, but I had to go over it one more time because first the thing, you're going to blame this on the Democrats.
Boy, did the Democrats blow this one.
All right, so right off the bat, he's going to blame this on the Democrats. Dude, you're a Democrat. You started the Justice Democrat. You are a Democrat. Democrats in your blood. You don't like third parties. You think third parties are a waste of time. You're one of those ones that I call anti-government. Don't want to have other opposition parties to get any kind of traction. Sure, you let them on the show, but your intention is to make them look like a fool on the show. So you can't blame this on the Democrats, but he's going to try.
First, let's start with the facts. The Mueller report is in, and then Attorney General Barr has now apparently said that it clears him of collusion.
Yes, it clears him of collusion.
During the election. I am not surprised by that.
Yes, you are. Your butt hurt. You're trying to cover it up. Your face, I mean, oh, it's just eating you up. You are surprised about that because you ticked your way on this thing. You bet all your ticks on this.
I will explain. I have been explaining for years on the Young Turks now, literally years, if anyone cares to pay attention. And then the second charge is obstruction of justice. And he did not clear him on that. So Mueller said that it was a close call, then he leaves it up to the Department of Justice. And now the Department of Justice is run by Barr, who is a Trump lackey. That's why he was picked and put into that role. And Barr immediately, without any further...
All right, Gene, who else are you going to put in that role? Somebody that you like? Come on, that's what he's going to do. He's going to put in there what he wants in there. That's what he's supposed to do. This guy, man.
Investigation cleared the president of obstruction of justice. So what do I think about obstruction of justice? Well, if I thought that there was no collusion before, during, or after the election, I would actually understand the Attorney General's decision because he'd say, look, it looked like Trump was covering it up when he went on national TV and he said he fired James Comey to make sure he didn't do the Russia investigation.
So you think just because he fired James Comey, he's trying to cover up something? Cover up what, Cenk? What is he covering up? No, Comey butt should have been fired. Comey sat there and admitted to the Senate Judiciary Committee that Hillary Clinton lied over and over again. Comey admitted that she broke the laws, but I can't find anybody that's going to prosecute her. He made that decision. He didn't even give nobody a chance to prosecute her. He knew Loretta Lynch was not going to do it. That's why Loretta Lynch is gone. James Comey's gone. Instead of getting some balls and prosecute the lady, could have had Bernie Sanders as your president at that time if you'd have did the right thing. But no, they want to act like this is just a little thing. Oh, the greatest woman, the smartest woman, the most powerful woman, the most knowledgeable woman to ever hold a position, former First Lady, two-time Secretary of State, two-time Senator, Secretary of State, the best for the position, didn't know her job to keep information at the State Department? No, Trump did the right thing by firing James Comey. It had nothing to do with Russia.
And if there's no collusion, then I guess he wasn't covering it up. He's just being weird. So I would understand that. But apparently I have a unique take on this because the Democrats, and based on the reaction today on television as well.
All right, now this unique take ain't so unique because we already knew this. We already knew Trump is a crooked businessman. We already know he did crooked business before he became president, and he's probably doing crooked business while he's the president, but his hands are not 100% in it. It's his sons that are doing it. So we already know this. The apple don't fall from the tree. He taught his sons how to be crooks too. Okay, but what Cenk is going to try to say is because of the Russian dealing that he did with trying to do a Trump Tower there, which is not against the law, which is business, and just about every country wanted a Trump Tower. It is called Trump International, which means you do business all over the place. Dubai, Australia, Japan, and yes, even Russia. But he's going to try to act like they influenced him in this election because they got something over them because some business dealing he was doing down there. Dude, you sound like...
Apparently really thought that the collusion happened directly during the election where Trump and the Russians were working together to steal the election from poor Hillary Clinton.
All right, so let's stop there. See, this is my problem with Cenk. Is it the Russians or the Russian government? You guys need to be more clear on your statement. I'm glad Nico House, I've been talking about it for a while, but I'm glad Nico House even stressed harder on his show about this situation. You guys in media. It's all, I mean, Trump kind of got something when he said that the media is the enemy of the people. I wouldn't go that far. I would say the media is most media lie to people. And you can have liars in your family, but they're not your enemies. You still can love them and they can still love you. They just liars. That's what they do. Media lies. News media lies. They have to placate toward their donors. They have to placate toward the companies that are financing that whole operation. And the military complex finance these operations. So they use these talking points because they want to drum up a Cold War so they can have reasons to have more weapons, to build more nuclear warheads and things like that. That's what they do. And he's playing around along with this. He is not the home of progressives, and he ain't gonna never be the home of the progressives. The home of the progressives are independent media. On the lower end, they have no option. They have no incentive to not tell the truth. They can tell the truth. They don't have money backing them. They don't have millions backing them. They don't try to talk the same talking points as MSNBC, CNN, Fox, and all them. You know, yeah, I put Fox in there too. They don't have an incentive. Most of their operations are funded by their supporters, their Patreons, and themselves, like me. Cenk got financial backing. His operation is a multi-million-dollar operation. He got people on a payroll, and he needs more money. So, of course, he's going to toe that online.
So that has not been my contention on the Young Turk.
Yes, it has. Stop lying, man. You're a liar. And what I'm going to do is one day I'm going to go through every last videos from the day after election up to now where he spitted this stuff because he know he has the tapes. He's probably burning them right now as we speak.
I definitely think there is collusion, so I want to be absolutely clear about that. And for
now, he said, I definitely think there is collusion. Collusion on what?
Those of you who missed the other videos, I'll just quickly explain why and then talk about how the Democrats bungled this worse than anything you could possibly imagine. I think... No, how you bungled this and bundled this as worse as can imagine. Because again, Cenk, you are a Democrat. Again, you start an organization called Justice Democrat with Kyle Kalinske. Your whole point is to hire, to run Democratic Socialists or progressives in that party to try to change the party, which means you're inside and you're trying to change it from the inside out. So you can't just blame it on Democrats without blaming it on yourself, dog. You're not an independent. You're not the home of independents. You're not even home of the progressives because majority of progressives are independent, Cenk. You flopped. You messed this up. You got it wrong. Because the Democrats was not just talking about the Russian election either. They was talking about his business dealings too. You were not the only one. Everybody knew about his business dealing. My frog around the corner in the bushes, they know about that business, Trump crooked business dealings. That the collusion happened both before and after. So what does that mean? That Trump has clearly been money laundering for the Russians.
For you, people got to understand, these are bold statements that Cenk is saying. Trump is clearly money laundering. Where is your evidence of this, Cenk? Did you give it to the authorities? How come the local government in New York haven't done this? How come they haven't charged the president? How come they haven't, the attorney general haven't charged the president? Well, the attorney general working for the president, but still he's obligated to know about it. How come you're not reporting the documentations of him money laundering? Where is your proof of him money laundering? Now, he probably is because he's a crook. But where is your proof, Cenk?
For decades now. So that explains why Trump was in a panic once they started the investigation.
Dude, Trump always have been under investigation. He stays in court for this stuff like this. This is nothing new to him. What make you think he was in a panic? You, in your mind, have a vision of Trump being in a panic.
So why is he doing obstruction if there's no collusion during the election? Because he knows, man, if you dig into my personal finances, you're going to find terrible, terrible things. That's why he never released his tax returns. That's why he was jittery and panicked about the Russians to begin with.
Now, folks, he ain't got to release his tax returns. You know the IRS, they know whether you're paying taxes or not. You know they get a record. They know the record of your what's owed. Number two, what he said, Trump is in a panic because of this. You know, let me go back and listen to that.
Terrible, terrible things. That's why he never released my personal finances. You're going to find terrible, terrible things. That's why he never released his tax returns.
Everybody
That's
know
why
that,
he was
Cenk.
jittery
like you
and panicked about
that?
the Russians to begin with.
Why would he be panicked about the Russians? If he had bad business dealing with the Russians, he's also had bad business dealing with the Australian. He probably had bad business dealing with Germans. He probably had a bad. You think you all of a sudden going to do one bad business dealing with Russia and be all on the up and up with all these other countries, Cenk? A crook is a crook. No matter what country you go to, you're a crook, dog. You're a crook.
And that's why he once said that the red line was ever looking into his business dealings. And so the right wing put a ton of pressure on Mueller to not investigate anything that wasn't directly related to the elections. And if you noticed...
Now, here we go again. Cenk liked to make a lot of statements with nothing to back it up. These are things in his mind. These are his assumptions that he's trying to make it seem like facts to the American public. This stuff is in his head. He's making this stuff up. This is the way I think, and I'm going to put it in you because I want you to think like me think, like I think, because I'm right in my thinking. No, dude. No, just because you say it doesn't mean we're going to believe you either. Okay?
Mueller handed off everything else that was not directly related to the elections. He handed off to other prosecutors, to New York, mainly to other federal prosecutors. So that my worst case scenario was Mueller just looks at the election and doesn't look at Trump's overall relationship with Russia.
All right, so his assumption is he just looked at the election and not the overall relationship with Russia. All right, since you brought it up, Mr. Cenk, I don't even want to call you Mr. no more. If he got all this crooked dirt of crimes that had nothing to do with Russian collusion, had nothing to do with Russian, most of them are ethic charges against Paul Manafort and the rest of those nutcases, Papadopoulos and all them, crookedness. These people were charged for unethical business practice. So why would he look into their unethical business practices and not look at Trump's unethical business practice? I'm letting you know, Cenk, he saw it. And I'm letting you know 9 times 10 it's in the report. But the bottom line, whether it's in the report or not, they can't do nothing about it. He cannot hand an indictment to Trump, even if he had a laundry list of corruption that he did as a business owner or a businessman up to the point he became president. The bottom line, and I hate it, that once you become president, it's hard to prosecute you. So what's going to happen is the day he's out of office, and that's why we got to do, I wouldn't say whatever in our power, because I don't want to do no crooked stuff, but do the right thing to get him out of office so he can face those charges. But right now, as president, he's not facing the charges. And what you probably thought he was going to do, that he was going to get so much dirt, and this is what it is, guys. He was hoping that Mueller gets so much dirt on Trump that Trump have to be forced to resign. That's why Cenk kept saying he won't make it through his first term. Your assumption of this whole case on Mueller didn't even make it through this first term. You're wrong like I don't know what. Now, we all agree about Trump business practice, but that wasn't what this trial was about. This investigation wasn't about the business practices of these people. Mueller just decided to go that way, and he prosecuted a lot of people. He know right now he can get those guys because they don't hold office. He can't get Trump, so why I'm going to sit here and talk about these things that I can't get Trump on? What I'll do is I'll work on that when he's out of office. Once he's out of office, the gloves are off. But they're not going to do this to a sitting president now. He can bring that stuff up after the fact, and Congress can try to move to get him impeached. But Trump probably won't run again. He'll probably serve his first term, completed, undermining what you've been saying all these years. He'll complete his term, but he may not run a second term. And it's highly likely that if he do drop out, they're going to charge him with these unethical charges that happened before he became president. It has nothing to do with Russia or nothing like that. It's probably business dealings he did in Russia, but it's probably not just the only thing. It's probably business dealing he did in Australia, business dealings he did in Germany. No matter where you get it, Trump is a crooked businessman. His art of the deal isn't really true. It's fabricated. It's an imagination. So when that report comes, it's going to talk about all the countries that he probably had unethical business dealings with. But you just want him to focus on the Russia part to make your case true. Believe me, Russia is probably one of the lowest balls in Trump court when it comes to being unethical. I'm quite sure he's more unethical in the United States and have more people have more influence over him in the United States than anybody in Russia, dog.
Okay, so, and it looks like we haven't gotten the full report yet, but right now it looks like he didn't. He didn't look into all of those years of taking hundreds of millions of dollars from Russian oligarchs. You think that might be relevant to what Trump does after the election? Of course it's relevant. But it looks like right now Mueller didn't look into it.
No, it is not relevant. Just because he is not mentioning it, just because it's not stated, just because nobody's being vocal about it, doesn't mean he did not look into those things. Again, people, Mueller has looked into everything concerning Trump. I guarantee you Mueller have seen unethical business practices done by the Trump organization, and I bet you he saw unethical things being done in Russia, but I bet you he saw Russian oligarchs, had nothing to do with Putin, Russian oligarchs, but the same thing been happening with unethical business dealing in any other country, and he can't make one country outshine the other because all of them lined up. He did unethical business with all of them. I guarantee you that is probably in the report, but Cenk just want to focus on Russia to prove his case that Russia has been manipulating Trump. No, if Russia was manipulating Trump, so is Germany and any other country. So stop it, man. Stop trying to prove your case. You're wrong. And like I said, once Trump is out of office, then they can bring these charges up to him, but it's a waste of time trying to charge him while he's in office. That's why he said there is not going to be an indictment. And again, what Cenk wanted to happen is he wanted Mueller to put all this pressure and all these other people to give up the goods on him to pressure him to resign. That is what this is all about. He was hoping to God that all this investigation will bring up so much dirt to apply on Trump that he will be forced to resign. That's why he said he will not make it past the first term. And now Mueller report has come out and said, dog, I ain't indicting nobody. It ain't gonna happen. We'll visit this when he get out of office. Because believe me, he has done some crooked things, but it's hard to kind of prosecute him on it. That's just the way our system is.
Worst case scenario, right? And I'll get back to why in a sec too. So Trump's been working with the Russians for a long time, as I told you in the video.
In other countries, Cenk. He's been working with other countries. Now let me let you know Trump business model. Trump is not into the business of building businesses from the ground up. He's done that in the late 60s, 70s, going into the 80s and into the 90s. He's done that, starting with his father. Buying land, building on it. Trump stopped doing that. The only thing Trump is going to buy land and build on is this golf course. What Trump do right now is he find business partners, and I'm quite sure some of them probably mobsters, some of them probably gangsters, a lot of them probably unethical. They know Trump's name was a brand name that made money. Trump was good at branding himself. And now his name is a brand name. He will put it on ties. He will put it on shirts. And he will make money. He will go and hire Mr. Make America Great Again. Will go out there and hire people in sweatshops in China and Indonesia to make his ties and hats and slap his name on there. And then he make money, including the MAGA hat. And he will make money off his name. Same thing with businesses. He'll go into a country and say, hey, I'm looking to start a Trump Tower in there. Who'd like to get in on this deal? So investors will come from out of nowhere. It could be crooked people or not. It's his choice whether you want to do business or not. Some crooked people want to start a legitimate business and go legit. You ever thought about that? And what they do is they invest their money to build this tower. Trump ain't putting his money up. The only thing he putting up is his name, and he's going to make money because they're making money off his name. Did he do that? Was he trying to do that in Russia? You doggone right. If he's not a smart businessman, then he wouldn't be trying to do that. He's supposed to do that. Supposed to go to Russia and put a Trump Tower. He put one over there right next to the White House. Took an old building and got investors to invest in that building. He slapped his name on it. I guarantee you not too much of his money went into it. So how are you going to say that they got him? He probably did not borrow one dime to try to build a hotel in Russia because they're buying his names. That's the business model of Donald Trump post 95 going in today. The only thing I'm building, golf clubs, golf course, and building my fashion line. And my cologne. That's all I'm building. In my fake school. That's all I'm building. The days of Trump building his own building out with his own funds have died a long time ago. And that's his business model. Yet Cenk trying to say he owed money because these investors gave him money to build these towers. No. Those investors built the towers. Trump slapped his name on it and made them money. Why would he need to get money from them? They need his name. So I'm quite sure they probably paid him big money just to put his name on the hotel.
He did earlier. 63 different Russian billionaires have put money into Trump properties. I mean, I've said it 100 times. I'll say it 100.
They put money into Trump properties. Again, Trump is not building these these buildings. They're building the business, and they're building the buildings, and they're negotiating with Trump to put the name on the building.
More there. All right, and so now after the election, Trump not only does all the things that I've talked about in the past, where he goes and meets with the Russians with no other Americans present, and seems to do exactly what Russia wants on a great.
Well, Cenk, that's not the first time that happened, dude. Reagan used to do it all the time. It's none of your business, because while y'all trying to start tension between Russia, he may need to talk about things to stop the tension. And he do not have to let you know about it. That's between him and the other leader. Just like Obama don't have to let nobody else know about it. Called him on a hot mic saying, look, I'm give me a little time. We're going to handle this a little later. You know.
Great number of issues, but not all issues. Okay, but there's the other thing of Eric Prince goes and meets with the Russian officials in Seychelles Island. That's not a coincidence. And you're not having a secret meeting with the Russians on behalf of Donald Trump because you don't have a deal with the Russians.
All right, you're talking about a secret meeting for somebody else with the Russians. Again, stop with this Russian stuff. See, he wants you to think Russian mean Russian government. It could have been just any other random Russian. He got a right to meet with random Russians. He got a right to meet with the Russian government. Doesn't mean collusion.
It's just not conceivable. So did Mueller look into that? For the moment being, it looks like he did not look into it. So the idiot Democrats put all of their eggs in the basket of, oh, Hillary's election was stolen. Hillary's election was stolen. No, for God's sake, you should have looked at what the connections that Trump has to the Russians well before the election, and what did he do for them after the election? They looked at the exact wrong thing. And so,
all right, so let's see what he done for the Russians after the election. Move troops closer to the Russian border. Apply sanctions, worse sanctions than Obama did on Russia. Pretty much crippling the Russian people who had nothing to do with this stuff. Really? Come on, Cenk. Come on, dog.
now what's the conclusion? The conclusion is the Republicans will scream it from the rooftops. He was cleared, he was cleared, he was cleared, as if that means that he had no relationship with the Russians ever, right?
Nobody is saying that, dog. Nobody's saying that. We know he had a relationship with Russia, but he had a relationship with other countries. That's what I'm saying. It's not just Russia. It's other countries too. So stop with this mess, Cenk. Stop. Yes, he had a relationship with Russia, but he had a relationship with other countries. Doesn't mean he did anything illegal. Like I said, he probably did, but you need to have proof and stop running your mouth and start having your own assumption. In order to prove that man is guilty, you got to prove that he is guilty. And you think you can do a better job than Mueller?
And then if you look into it, they'll say, oh, they're just, you know, they're being sore losers. I can't believe they're pursuing it. Of course, Nancy Pelosi will drop every investigation, not every investigation of Trump. And to be fair to some Democrats, they're like, no, we're going to keep continuing the investigations that have shown clear crimes. But you know Nancy Pelosi, she's not going to go into that. She said she wasn't going to go into it even before Mueller came out. So here we are in a situation where it looks like Mueller didn't investigate the right things. The Democrats emphasized all the wrong things.
The key word is he looked like he didn't. You don't know. He did. He probably did it. You don't know, Jim.
Politically. And look, if people are looking for me to say, hey, Trump didn't collude with the Russians during the election, too late. I've been saying that for a long time. If you want, you know what? On Monday, we'll show you the clips of me saying it over and over again. Me saying 4 million Twitter impressions doesn't mean anything. And I wouldn't indict and I wouldn't impeach on that. The question is, what else did he do? And it looks like there's, for the moment being, again, we don't see the full Mueller report, but there is no investigation of that at all. And so if people are expecting me to drop it and say, oh, no, this means that Trump didn't do anything with the Russians, hell no. I don't believe that, and I'll never believe that. You got evidence, and you present it. Hey, if Mueller looked into the Eric Prince meeting and said, oh, no, that was perfectly innocent, fine. If he looked into his tax returns and his dealings with the Russians in the past and said that was fine, okay, then I will accept that. But if he didn't look into it, that means he looked at definitely the wrong thing based on exactly what I've been saying on the show. So, if people are looking for any kind you want to go attack Pelosi or the other Democrats based on, and Hillary Clinton and her supporters based on what you call Russiagate, have at it, Hoss. You come to me, you came to the wrong place. So we'll continue on Monday's show, and I'll give you all the details. Don't miss it, tyt.com, and that's 6 to 9 p.m. every day, okay? And, of course, always home of...
All right, he said, have at it, Hoss, if you want to come at me all day. Well, here's a day. I'm coming at you, dog. All right, first of all, you can never, ever say you're the home of progressive. I got a million ways to say this, but I'm not going to go through all million. You're not. You're a lightweight version of CNN. You're a lightweight version of MSNBC. And that's just what you are. Number two, we already know Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, blah, blah, blah. Who cares about them? It's you, man. You the one been spitting this mess every single day on your show. Every day. The only person got you beat is Rachel Maddow. You went just as mad with this McCarthyism, just as bad as Rachel Maddow, or as I normally call Rachel the Mad Bro. You and Rachel the Mad Bro have lost your mind concerning stuff because you think you know everything. Her with a Rhodes Scholar and I don't know, scholarship or whatever, and you with yours. Both of you are wrong. I'm going to get on Rachel tomorrow. But you were wrong. You are not the only one that all of a sudden got the grand revelation that Trump is crooked. I knew that before the election. I live in New York City. We know Trump is crooked. We know about the history of his crookedness and his racism and all that. We knew that before you even knew about it. We knew that when you probably thought Trump was a hero as a businessman, and you find out later he's not. You went day after day after day when there's other issues in America to talk about, continue to push this. We got Trump. Mueller got something on him. His lawyer's going to tell everything, and it's going to force him to resign. The whole point of Cenk and his theories and his accusations and his hopes and dreams, give me a moment. The whole point of his theories and his hope and dreams was he thought Mueller was going to get enough stuff on him to force Trump to resign. He knew that Trump was going to get impeached. He knew the numbers not there. He was hoping he'd still move to try to impeach Trump, and put the Republicans on notice who don't impeach Trump. But the bottom line is he wanted to get so much pressure on Trump that it will force him to resign before his term is up. No, what this foolishness has done is invigorate Trump to run for another 4 years to prove you idiots all wrong. Now, I am not a Trump fan, but I'm not a Mueller fan. Trump's a liar, Mueller a liar, Clinton a liar, Cenk, you're a liar, Rachel Maddow is a liar. The bottom line is you lost this fight. You're not the only one that think Trump is a crooked businessman. We all believe Trump did crooked business in Russia. We all know that. But that don't mean he was forced to become a tool of the Russians, because if that's true, he would be forced to be a tool of Australia in his Trump Tower there. Fools around Emmanuel and the leaders in Chicago. Wherever there's a Trump Tower. It took businessmen to invest in that building and use Trump name. So don't go and think Russians are all that special where they the only ones can manipulate Trump. The bottom line is, if anybody's manipulating anybody, it's Trump over those Russian oligarchs. You just don't want to let go of this Hillary Clinton made up story. You just want to continue to play along, and now you're backpedaling on this. You were heavily involved with the Trump Russia into the election campaign. And now you're into Trump is still holding, Putin is still holding Trump hostage because the Russian government got Trump on so much crap that Trump is their puppet. It ain't that way, dog. You need to go do your more. Look, I'm a regular independent. I know common sense. Trump do not use his own money to build his businesses no more. Trump do not go and find investors to build his business for him most of the time. Trump spend most of his money on building business systems that he could probably market, his fashion line, and his golf course. Now, he probably find investors to invest in his golf course. But no, at that time, investors knew the Trump name would bring high quality clients into their location. He knew that they could put high quality clients into a Trump hotel. So the investors come to him to ask to use his name. They ain't giving that man no money. They're coming up with their own money, building their own building, and asking for Trump to use his name. Now, I'm quite sure Trump charged him for the name. That's simple business practice. Trump got out of the game of building business and using his money to build property a long time ago. After the casinos failed, Trump said, I ain't buying no more buildings. You pay the money, you build a business, and I'll let you use my name. All right, so if you think he got crooked dealings with Russia, you got to think he got that with every other country he got a Trump Tower in. Okay? And you probably 9 times 10, you don't know whether that man did his job. That man only could do so much for us letting all the information out. The information all going to come out in good time. I'm quite sure if he got those other guys on bad ethics in business before Trump became president, I'm quite sure he got Trump on that too. So stick your chest in, Cenk. This whole Russia hysteria is a mockery, man. Get off it. It's not just Russia that Trump got bad business dealing with. It's other countries too. So if Russia holding something over Trump, them other countries are holding something on them too. So that don't make them an interesting sole player in the game of making Trump their puppet. If they got stuff over Trump, the other one got stuff over Trump too. Bottom line is, Mueller said the investigation is done with, dog, and you got gas in your face. And I'm going to join you. Stop talking about this stuff because it make you look stupid. My advice to you,
you need to shut the fuck up. That's what I do. I would fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
And my second advice is go somewhere.
Man, sit your ass down.
I'm Robert Brown with the Rob Report. I'll let you later.